Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For a consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
Hello, my name is Mary Campbell, legal assistant at the law firm of Figueroa and Associates, and your presenter with this week's immigration news. We begin with New York, where Governor Hochul says New York will not give state work permits to migrants. I'm constrained by the law, Governor Hochul, who had pursued the idea of issuing state-approved work papers to migrants, took the plan off the table Monday, November 13, saying she would not have been able to protect New York employers from criminal exposure under federal laws. I'm constrained by the law, Hochul said at a news conference in Midtown Manhattan, 2 months after she indicated she was looking into the permitting concept. Pursuing it has led us to the conclusion that I cannot protect employers under this scenario. Changes to the 150-day gap are subject to the whims of Congress. Immigration reform efforts have long been deadlocked in Washington. It is important to note that no state has ever tried to supersede the federal government's role as the issuer of work permits. Libraries, summer school, police, and composting face cuts amid New York City budget crisis. Blame on the migrant crisis. Mayor Eric Adams' office on Thursday announced a wide array of cuts that would significantly erode essential services for many New Yorkers, including libraries, summer school, policing, and sanitation. The news did not come as a surprise. Adams has spent months bracing taxpayers for deep cuts that he says are necessary to bridge a gaping deficit driven by the city's migrant care spending and the expiration of federal pandemic aid. In September, he ordered all city agencies to slash their spending by 5% and said that further cuts would be coming. Migrant costs are going up, tax revenue growth is slowing, and COVID stimulus funding is drying up, Adams said in a statement. No city should be left to handle a national humanitarian crisis largely on its own, and without the significant and timely support we need from Washington, D.C., today's budget will be only the beginning. Deportation orders reach 25-year height as migrants miss notices in shelter shuffle most immigrants who are seeking to obtain legal immigration status, including asylum, must attend hearings in front of an immigration judge, but the Executive Office of Immigration Review only sends out immigration court hearing notifications through the mail. If migrants don't receive the notification of an immigration court date, they run the risk of missing their hearing, which can enable a judge to issue them a deportation order. Immigrants become eligible for deportation, even if they weren't aware of the hearing. Advocates say the problem is being exacerbated by City Hall policies, like the Adams administration's shelter stay limits and the shuffling of migrants throughout different city facilities. In other news, interviews reveal Haitians face racist treatment during U.S. immigration processing research shows systemic flaws with systems of humanitarian parole and employment authorization, documents a legacy of racist immigration practices towards Haitian refugees. Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees, in partnership with Take a Root Justice, recently released results from interviews conducted with Haitians and their legal advocates. The interviews revealed that Haitian refugees, asylum seekers, and migrants have been granted humanitarian parole periods that were effectively meaningless because they provided insufficient time to apply for employment authorization, leaving Haitians in the agonizing position of being unable to provide for themselves and their families as they navigate their immigration cases. Implementation of a new family reunification parole process for Ecuador on November 15. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced implementation of a new family reunification parole process for certain nationals of Ecuador. This process allows an eligible beneficiary to be considered for parole into the United States on a case-by-case basis while they wait for their family-based immigrant visa to become available. It is available by invitation only to certain petitioners with an approved Form I-130, Petition for Alien Relative, on behalf of an Ecuadorian beneficiary. Meanwhile, border walls falls leave migrants with devastating and costly injuries. Many migrants have been undaunted by the border barriers, which are as tall as 30 feet, and for hundreds, the result has been debilitating injuries requiring surgeries. Hundreds of migrants have ended up needing extensive treatment in United States hospitals after trying to scale barriers along the southern border. One look, and I know it's another wall fall, said Brian Elmore, an emergency medicine physician at Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center in El Paso. In a quest to stop unauthorized immigration, the United States government has in recent years extended the length and height of the fortifications, and the new stretch has been authorized by the Biden administration. But many migrants have been undaunted by the barriers, and for hundreds of them, the result has been debilitating injuries that require multiple surgeries, according to physicians working in U.S. hospitals near the border. Finally, migrants U-turn on American dream as they return home after finding nothing for us here. A growing number of migrants who have crossed the United States-Mexico border have returned home after a disheartening experience of the American dream. Venezuelans have been among tens of thousands of migrants arriving in the United States in recent years. Michael Castellón, 39, revealed he, his wife, and teenage stepdaughter spent 5 months sleeping either in a police precinct or a crowded city shelter in Chicago. The American dream doesn't exist anymore, Castellón told the Chicago Tribune. There's nothing here for us. We just want to be home, he added. If we're going to be sleeping in the streets here, we'd rather be sleeping in the streets over there. Thank you.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.